Hello, parents, and welcome to first grade math with Miss Pat, where God has your back as far as using me as a vehicle to help you to help your child with first grade math. I have been in education for over 20 years now. I taught first grade math, sixth grade math, and ran my own international nonprofit organization in Northwest Haiti, where we were able to impact thousands of children by building a 9-classroom building, established a food security program, and provided clean drinking water and distributed school supplies and uniforms. Now, with that being said, let's go on and get into our lesson. So many wonderful experiences can be teachable moments. A birthday party using a piñata is an excellent way for children to learn math. Today, I will be teaching you a math strategy called counting on to subtract. In first grade math, we learn how to count on to add, and we also learn how to count on to subtract. Count on to add and count on to subtract has similarities, but they also have differences. In both cases, we use addition to solve the problem. If you are not familiar with Count On to Add, please visit my other instructional videos that I have on Count On to Add using online manipulatives. In order to learn how to count on to subtract, I'm going to review very quickly Count On to Add so that you can know the similarities and the difference between Count On to Add and Count On to Subtract. So in the first problem, I will count on to add. In this particular example, Daniela right here received 2 bags of Skittles out of the piñata, whereas Jesus received 4 bags of Skittles out of the piñata. How many did they have in all? We know that the number 2 represented by the 2 bags of Skittles is our addend, and also the number 4 represented by the 4 bags of Skittles is also our addend. When we put them together and we find out how many are in all, that is our sum or our total. Let me show you how to do that with the virtual number line. You will click on the link that I have provided below, and you will be brought to this particular page. Now, this is our virtual number line. Now, you see that our virtual number line does not start with 0. So we are going to have to come here to the starting number and set it at 0 so that it can start with 0. And our ending number, we're going to set to about 35 because the number line can only hold about 35 or 40 numbers at a time. And then we are going to press go. Now you see our number line starts with 0 and ends with 35. Now, Jesus had 4 bags of Skittles and Daniela had 2. So what you're going to come here and do, you're going to press on this 0 and you're going to count up 4 for Jesus' amount of Skittles. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4. Now you see it put a 4 on top, which means we counted up 4. And now we are going to add on or count on Daniela's 2. So we count up. We don't look for the number 2. We just count up 2. And that is called counting on to add. So that's 1, 2. And we press click. Now we see that 4 plus 2. What number are we at? So now we know that 2 bags of Skittle plus 4 bags of Skittle is 6 bags of Skittle in all. When we count on to subtract, what we do is we actually start with the total. The total is always our biggest number, and then we're going to take away some from the total or separate some from the total in order to get our answer. So in this particular case, let's say, for example, if Jesus had 6 bags of Skittle and he gave 4 bags of Skittle to Daniela, how many bags of Skittle will Jesus now have left? Let's do this problem utilizing our virtual number line. So you're going to come to the smaller number, which is 4. And which number was larger? The number 6. So we just count on until we get to the number 6, which is our larger number and our total. So that's 1, 2. Now we know that the 6 bags of Skittles that Jesus originally started off with minus the 4 bags that he gave to Daniela Now he's going to have 2 left over. Now let's look at our next example. Jesus also collected 16 small pieces of candy from the piñata. He gave 5 small pieces of candy to Isabella. How many does he have? Now remember, the total is always the larger number, which in this case is 16. And the smaller number is the number you're going to take away from the larger number. And in this case, that is 5 that he gave Isabella. And when you count on to subtract, you always start with the small number and you count on until you get to the larger number. Now let's look at our virtual number line to get the answer. So let's start with 5 since we are subtracting. And we're going to count up until we get to 16, which is the amount that Jesus originally had. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. So now we know that 16 minus 5, let's take off our 5. That's going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. 16 minus 5 equals 11. Parents, I also have a children's video on this particular strategy. So if you would like, your child can just click on the link below to see the kids version of this particular video. I want to leave you with one golden nugget. As you know, your child watch everything you do. So what you want to always do is model truth. You know, sometimes we have to be careful and we have to ask ourselves if we're really modeling truth when our phone rings and we tell our child, tell them that I'm not home, or tell them that I'm not available, and your child clearly sees that you are. For God is the way, the truth, and the life, and we were created in His image, so always model truth. If you would like for your child to be enrolled in one of my online math classes for first grade, please click the link below. I hope you have enjoyed today's video. If you have, please give it a thumbs up. And to see more videos like this, please subscribe to the channel below.